The Whispering Mirror. The Inheritance. When Elias inherited his great-uncle's estate in the fog-drenched outskirts of Blackwood, he thought it was a blessing. The house was a Victorian monolith, draped in ivy and secrets. As a struggling writer, the isolation seemed like the perfect catalyst for his next novel. However, the locals at the village tavern stopped talking whenever he mentioned the Silverthorne Manor. They didn't offer warnings. They offered pity. The discovery. On his third night, Elias found it. In the attic, hidden behind a heavy velvet curtain, stood a floor-to-ceiling mirror. Its frame was made of black iron, twisted into shapes that looked like grasping hands. Unlike a normal mirror, the glass was dark, like tea. When Elias looked into it, his reflection didn't appear immediately. There was a split-second delay, a lag that made his skin crawl. The first sign. The sounds. At 3:14 a.m., the sound of fingernails scratching against glass echoed through the vents. The sight. One morning while shaving in the bathroom, Elias saw a tall, thin figure standing behind him in the reflection. When he turned around, the room was empty. The change. His own reflection began to look different. The mirror Elias was thinner, paler, and his smile lasted just a second longer than it should. The breaking point. By the second week, Elias stopped sleeping. He tried to cover the mirror in the attic, but every morning he would wake up to find the velvet cloth shredded on the floor. One night he gathered his courage and approached the glass. He pressed his palm against it. The glass wasn't cold. It was warm and soft, like human skin. Suddenly, his reflection didn't mimic him. It leaned forward and whispered, its voice sounding like dry leaves. "Let me out, and I will give you the endings you seek." Elias backed away, but his reflection stayed pressed against the glass, its eyes turning entirely black. It began to hit the glass from the inside. Thump, thump, thump. The twist. Terrified, Elias grabbed a heavy brass lamp and swung it at the mirror. The glass shattered into 1,000 jagged diamonds. Silence fell over the house. Elias breathed a sigh of relief. He looked down at the shards on the floor, but he didn't see his face in the broken glass. He saw the attic ceiling. He looked at his hands. They were becoming transparent, fading into a dull, silver gray. He looked up and saw the room through a frame of jagged iron. Across the room, another Elias, the one from the mirror, was standing there, dusting off his sleeves. The entity picked up Elias's pen, looked at the trapped writer inside the broken shards and smirked. "Thank you for the house, Elias. I'll make sure the book is a bestseller." The entity walked out of the attic, locking the door behind him, leaving the real Elias screaming in a world of silence, trapped in a million pieces of broken glass.